This week, I want to talk to you about canaries in the mine. Shalom, my friends. Yes, today we will talk about canaries in the mine. But before I get to the canaries, I want to talk to you about a commercial you may have seen on television. It starts with a small blue square on a blank screen. It tells you that the square takes up 2.4% of your screen. It then tells you that 2.4 is the percentage of Jewish people in the United States. Yet, Jews are the target of 55% of all religious hate crimes in America. It asks for your support, standing up against hatred toward Jews, which is what it really is. Anti-Semitism, that's a bogus word, but that will be the subject of another video. If you are not Jewish, is this a matter that should concern you? Well, my friends, now we get to the canaries in the mine. I hope there is more sophisticated, advanced technology in place today, but the practice of using canaries in mining is a very old one. Miners would take canaries down into the mines with them so that if there were poisonous gases in the air, the canaries would die before the men would. And that would tell them the air was lethal and they had to evacuate the mine. Throughout history, Jews have been the canaries in the mine. What does that mean? Acts of hatred against Jews never stop with the Jews. We are the canaries. We are only the beginning. Hitler murdered 6 million Jews, but he also murdered 5 million or more non-Jews. Communism killed tens of millions more people than Nazism. And today, a great many minority groups are already targets of hate crimes, just like the Jews. And that will only get worse as time goes on, unless people of goodwill stand up to the hatred. Thank God we've reached a time in which no decent person will utter what we now call the N-word. And I have no doubt that if you heard that word, you would express your contempt. My friends, it is time to do the same with regard to hatred of Jews. When you hear it or see it, confront it. Do not let it pass unchallenged, because the issue is much bigger than religious hate crimes being disproportionately directed against 2.4% of American citizens. The hatred will continue to spread, and the only ones who can stop it are we. Today, most religious hatred is directed against Jews, but there are many forms of bigotry and hatred. This hatred threatens the very fabric of our society. So be part of the solution. Remember the words of Edmund Burke, all that is necessary for the triumph of evil is for good people to do nothing. Today it may be the Jews, but never forget the Jews are the canaries in the mine. If you found this message worthwhile, and I hope you did, there are many ways you can support our efforts on this YouTube channel. You can become a supporter on patreon.com/therabbistudy, or you can donate to the Rabbi's discretionary fund at Congregation Shari Tefillah. Links to both are in the description below the video, as long as you are watching on YouTube itself. And as always, you can subscribe to the channel by clicking on my face right over here, or watch the last video I released by clicking on its icon right over there. As ever, until next time, Shabbat Shalom.